So the female version of a walking red flag is Madison.
Oh my God. This girl.
I did not see like her trajectory playing out the way that it did. Like initially I liked her.
Me too.
And I was like, oh, I like this girl.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she might be one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And then she just jumped off the cliff and took her red flag to parasail down because I was like, girl, you do not need a husband. You need therapy.
Absolutely. She has to be one of the more manipulative people that I've ever watched on this show.
Yes.
And it was really kind of scary because you can tell that she thinks she's done enough therapy to where she's like, oh no, I'm good. Like one thing she kept saying is like, I'm gonna like, you know, in my resourced way, like handle these things. I was like, girl, what are your resources? Because they're not working. You're out here manipulating both of these guys, which, I mean, I did think that Alex seemed like a sweet guy.
Right.
There's some stuff that we can get into about him
But
as well.
I also, just based off of the episodes, Alex did seem very sweet.
Yes, he seemed like a sweetie pie. And so I could see why she was, you know, gravitating towards him because obviously she did have a very hard upbringing and it was really touching to hear her talk about it. And she is a resilient woman.
Yes.
Then on the other hand, you have Mason who was just thinking with his penis, okay? Because she didn't help him either. She's talking about her nipples,
That's
the
the
cream
thing.
pie.
Like, so this is the manipulative part about her is like when she feels, and this is just what I was getting from the episodes, whenever she felt like one of the men was starting to kind of veer towards their other connections, she would use sexual innuendos to reel them back in with her nipple piercings, the cream pie conversation. I was like,
yeah, it was gross.
like, girl, be so for real right now. And so, and also like, seeing her do it and knowing that it was a manipulative tactic, I was like, he's not gonna fall for it. But you know, men are simple; they think with one thing. And
exactly.
As soon as she said cream pie, Mason was right back in there.
I think one of the main moments where I was like, I was like, this ain't right, is she was telling Mason the reassurance that she needed, and then finally when he gave it to her, she's like, it kind of reminded me of like when you're a little girl and you're getting a call from someone in 7th grade and they're like, I have a crush on you, and you're like, you do? They say yeah, and you're kind of like, oh God, like you want to like hang up the phone. Like that's what it was giving to me. And so I'm really glad that Alex and her didn't end up together, because I think she just wanted him to give her what she wanted, which was just validation at all costs. Like I get it, you want to be supported by your partner and feel like they're your cheerleader, but if you are doing something wrong, like it is your partner's job to help you be your best version of yourself and uplift you from that place. And she was just like, I don't want to hear you talk about Mason. Like, I want to be supported. But really, it's like, girl, she had no regard for anyone but herself in that situation. She's putting the other woman under the bus, saying like, you might lose her as well. It's like, that is not your decision.
So that was another thing that really bothered me about her is I feel like she sabotaged Meg in this situation with Mason.
Yes.
Because she went back in there and she was like, well, I told him this. And like, she's like, you're not still going to be with him, are you?
Yeah.
It was like very leading, very intentionally saboteur that. So when Meg came back into the situation with Mason, I felt like she was so manipulated to the point where she felt like she had to walk away, even though she probably wanted to stay.
Yes. Yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like Meg was pushed in a corner where she's like, if I do stay with him, I'm going to hear it like from other people.
I'm going to look like I'm not like a self-sufficient or I have no self-esteem basically.
Yes. And I get her point. She's like, you know, I can't get past it. I don't know if I was the one chosen or if I'm the last option. I do feel like I would have liked to have seen them continue to explore the relationship because I think that Madison's manipulation, her little puppetry was really getting in the way of anybody having a clear mind to go about it.
She also talked about how she was an avoidant when they were talking about attachment styles, and she's very clearly an avoidant, so much so that she avoided getting engaged.
There she did, yeah.
Whether it was her decision or not.
Okay, so there is some chatter about our little sweetie boy Alex online that, again, it's all alleged. We have no idea, and, you know, until innocent until proven guilty, but there have been a few women who have come forward talking about some kind of sketchy things. I guess he's known in the community for selling alcohol to underage girls, throwing parties where there's underage girls, where another commenter said like, oh, he was dating my friend. They're around 16, 17. And apparently he would ask for sexual favors as well. So I don't know, these Minnesotans, they really have community, I guess, like within the dating world. It's kind of like, you know, big city, like small town vibes.
Right.
I really hope that that's not true, because I think that that's,
I mean, those are very serious allegations.
Exactly. Again, allegations, so nothing is set in stone, but just something to kind of be aware of, because I think that he was a favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah, because I mean, he genuinely seemed like a sweet guy, and I felt bad for him that it didn't work out in his favor, and to hear those allegations is really terrible.
Yeah, upsetting. So we'll see as of course, you know, the drama unfolds on TikTok and online, and not on Love is Blind, which is why it was hard to get through these episodes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, watching it on TikTok is more entertaining than watching it on Netflix now. Come on, Netflix, step up.
Step it up.